the art of deactivation. What if I told you that falling asleep is not a matter of luck? It is not about how tired you are. It is not about how soft your pillow is. What if I told you that sleep is a button, and you simply haven't learned how to press it yet? Welcome. You have arrived at a unique destination. This is not just another generic relaxation video. This is a deep dive into one of the most powerful biohacking techniques ever discovered, the military sleep method. Developed in the fires of World War II to help fighter pilots sleep in the cockpit with gunfire echoing in their ears, this technique has a reported success rate of 96%. 96%. If it can work for a soldier in a war zone, imagine what it can do for you in the safety of your own bed. Over the next hour, we are going to do two things simultaneously. First, we are going to expand your mind. We will explore the fascinating science of the nervous system, the history of human rest, and the biology of relaxation. You will learn why you stay awake and how to physically switch off the noise. Second, and more importantly, we are going to put you to sleep. This guide is designed to be a dual experience. As you listen to the logic and the history, your conscious mind will be satisfied. It will stop asking questions. It will stop worrying. And while your mind is busy learning, your body will be following the hidden commands in this script. Drifting, sinking, deactivating. Think of this as a lecture that you are supposed to sleep through. You don't need to take notes. You don't need to remember the details. Your only job is to listen and let the knowledge wash over you like a heavy wave. By the time we reach the end of this journey, you will possess a skill that will serve you for the rest of your life. The ability to conquer insomnia. The ability to reclaim your nights. So turn off the lights. Put down your phone. Adjust your shoulders. And let us begin the process of shutting down. Chapter 1. The Invisible Enemy and the Legend of 96%. Let us travel back in time. The year is 1942. The location is the vast, terrifying expanse of the Pacific Ocean. Imagine for a moment that you are not in your bed. Imagine you are sitting in the cockpit of a fighter plane. The air is thin and smells of aviation fuel and cold metal. The roar of the engine is deafening, vibrating through your bones. Your adrenaline is pumping. Your heart is hammering against your ribs like a trapped bird. You have been flying for hours. You are exhausted. Your eyes burn. Your muscles ache. But you cannot sleep. In the chaos of World War II, the United States Navy faced a crisis. It wasn't just enemy fire that was taking down their pilots. It was something more subtle. Something invisible. It was stress. The constant state of fight or flight was destroying the pilots' ability to rest. Even when they were safe on the ground, their minds were still in the sky. They would lie in their bunks, staring at the ceiling, replaying the battles, worrying about the next mission. They were wired and tired. And a tired pilot makes mistakes. They misjudge distances. They react too slowly. They forget protocols. The Navy realized that insomnia was becoming as dangerous as the enemy itself. They needed a solution. And they didn't need warm milk or a bedtime story. They needed a protocol, a system, a weapon. They needed a way to force the human nervous system to shut down and recharge, regardless of the noise, the fear, or the caffeine in their blood. Enter Lloyd Bud Winter. Bud Winter was not a general. He was not a doctor. He was a legendary track and field coach. He had spent his life studying the physics of human performance. And he knew a secret that most people ignore: tension is the enemy of speed. A runner with tight shoulders runs slower. A boxer with a stiff jaw gets knocked out faster. Winter believed that if you could teach an athlete to relax their muscles completely, you could unlock superhuman performance. And more importantly, you could unlock sleep. The Navy gave Winter a challenge: take these stressed out, adrenaline-fueled pilots and teach them to sleep. Anywhere, anytime. In 2 minutes or less. It sounded impossible. But Winter developed a 6-week training course at the Navy pre-flight school. He treated sleep not as a rest period, but as a drill, a physical skill to be mastered. The results were historic. After 6 weeks of training, 96% of the pilots could fall asleep within 2 minutes. Let that sink in. 96%. But the statistic is even more impressive when you know the conditions. They weren't sleeping in dark, quiet rooms like you are now. They could sleep sitting upright in a hard chair. They could sleep while listening to recordings of machine gun fire and bombs blasting in their ears. They could sleep even after drinking coffee. How is this possible? How can a human being override millions of years of survival instinct that says stay awake? Danger! The answer lies in the connection between your body and your brain. Most of us try to sleep using our minds. We try to think our way into sleep. We tell ourselves, stop worrying, go to sleep. But the mind is a rebel. The more you tell it to stop, the faster it runs. The military method works because it ignores the mind and talks directly to the body. It is a physical shutdown sequence. Just like a pilot turns off the switches in the cockpit one by one, fuel pump off, radio off, hydraulics off, you are going to learn to turn off the switches of your biology. When the body is completely, totally silent, the mind has no choice but to follow. It is a biological trapdoor. And tonight, we are going to open it. You might be thinking, but I am not a pilot. I am not in a war. But in a way you are. We are all fighting a war against the modern world. The invisible enemy today is not another plane. It is the blue light from your screen. It is the notification bell. It is the deadline at work. It is the economy. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between a tiger in the jungle and a stressful email. It reacts the same way. It floods you with cortisol. It tightens your muscles. It keeps you awake. The pilots had 6 weeks to master this. You have tonight. We are going to break down Bud Winter's method into precise, actionable steps. We will move through the body like a wave of heavy water. From the micro muscles of the face down to the heavy bones of the legs. We will discover pockets of tension you didn't even know you were holding. But before we begin the physical scan, there is one rule you must accept. The rule is do not try. This sounds like a paradox. But sleep is like a shy bird. If you run after it, it flies away. If you sit still and hold out your hand, it lands on your finger. Bud Winter taught his pilots to let go, not to force down. So, for the next hour, stop trying to sleep. Instead, set a different goal. Make your goal simply to follow my voice, to locate the tension, and to release it. If sleep comes, let it come. If it doesn't, just enjoy the heaviness. Just enjoy the rest. Now adjust your position one last time. Make sure your head is supported. Make sure your hands are loose. Imagine you are sitting in that cockpit, but the engine is off. The war is over. The sky is clear, and you are safe to close your eyes. Let us begin the shutdown sequence. Let us begin with the face. Chapter 2. The biology of relaxation and the 2 switches. Before we move a single muscle, we must understand the machine we are operating. You are the pilot of the most complex vessel in the known universe, the human body, and like any complex machine, it has an operating system. Scientists call it the autonomic nervous system. It runs in the background, silently, every second of every day. It controls your heart rate, your digestion, your temperature without you ever having to think about it. But here is the secret that Bud Winter taught his pilots. This operating system has 2 distinct modes. 2 switches. And you can only be in one mode at a time. Mode 1 is the sympathetic nervous system. We know this better as fight or flight. Imagine a caveman facing a tiger. His body dumps adrenaline into the blood. His pupils dilate to see better. His heart races to pump fuel to his legs. His digestion stops because, well, you don't need to digest lunch if you are about to become lunch. This is the gas pedal. It is designed for survival. It is designed for speed. The problem is in our modern world, the tiger is gone. But the gas pedal is still stuck to the floor. The tiger has been replaced by the glowing screen of your phone. By the notification bell. By the traffic jam. By the argument you had at dinner. When you lie in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, unable to sleep, it is not because you are broken. It is because your internal switch is stuck on fight. Your body is vibrating with energy it doesn't need. You are a race car revving its engine in a garage. Now let us look at mode 2. The parasympathetic nervous system. The rest and digest mode. The brake pedal. This is the biological shore we are trying to reach tonight. When this switch is flipped, magic happens. Your heart rate slows, your blood pressure drops, your muscles soften like warm wax, and most importantly, your brain waves shift from the sharp, jagged beta waves of alertness to the slow, rolling alpha and theta waves of sleep. Here is the cruel paradox of insomnia. You cannot think your way to the brake pedal. You cannot force yourself to relax. Have you ever tried to tell a stressed person to just calm down? It never works. In fact, trying to sleep is a form of stress. Thinking I must sleep now is a command. It keeps the gas pedal pressed. So, how do we reach the brake? How do we flip the switch? We use a back door. We use the vagus nerve. This is the longest nerve in your body, a superhighway of information traveling from your brain, down your neck, into your heart, your lungs, and your stomach. It is the connection between the cockpit and the engine. The military method is not a mental trick. It is a physical hack to stimulate the vagus nerve. By systematically releasing the tension in specific muscle groups, we send a reverse signal up that superhighway. We send a message from the body to the brain saying, the muscles are loose, the breath is slow, the jaw is slack, therefore we must be safe. We are going to trick your brain into believing it is safe. We are going to manually override the system. We are going to take your foot off the gas and gently, firmly press the brake. Visualize your body right now as a map of lights, like a city seen from space at night. Right now, the city is bright. The lights are on in the office buildings of your shoulders. The lights are blazing in the factories of your legs. The traffic is moving fast on the highways of your mind. Our mission tonight is to cause a power outage, a gentle, rolling blackout. We will move through the city, district by district, neighborhood by neighborhood, and we will turn off the lights. Once the lights are out, the city sleeps. Once the body is silent, the mind surrenders. You don't need to understand the chemistry of cortisol or melatonin. You just need to trust the process. You just need to follow the instructions. The protocol is simple, 5 steps. From the top of the head down to the soles of the feet. Are you ready to initiate the shutdown sequence? Are you ready to find the brake pedal? Shift your attention now to the very top of your body, to your head, to your face. This is where we hold the most tension. This is where the mask lives. In the next chapter, we will let the mask fall. We will begin the blackout. Adjust your pillow. Take a deep breath in, and as you let it out, imagine the engine of the race car turning off. Click. Silence. Let us begin step 1. Chapter 3. Step 1. Removing the mask, the face and eyes. Now we enter the physical protocol. We begin at the very top, the headquarters, the face. You might not realize it, but your face is currently doing a lot of work. There are 43 individual muscles in the human face. They are the soldiers of expression. They squint to focus. They frown to worry. They tighten to hold back words. All day long, they have been holding up a mask. The mask of you. The mask that shows the world you are okay. But here, in the dark, the performance is over. It is time to let the mask fall. Focus your attention on your forehead. This is the screen where you project your thoughts. Right now, it might be furrowed, tight. I want you to imagine a warm, heavy towel being placed over your forehead. Feel the heat penetrating the skin. Imagine the wrinkles smoothing out. Ironing out the worry, ironing out the confusion. Let your brow become wide, smooth, and slack. There is nothing left to think about. The screen is blank. Now, move your awareness down to your eyes. Bud Winter, the creator of this method, discovered something fascinating. He found that the eyes are the gateway to the mind. If your eyes are moving, darting back and forth behind your eyelids, your brain is still looking for something. You are still scanning for danger. To sleep, we must stop the scan. Squeeze your eyes shut tight for just a second, tight, and now release. Let them go completely limp. There are 6 tiny muscles that control each eyeball. Imagine telling those 6 muscles to go off duty. Let your eyes sink deep into their sockets. Heavy, cold, still. Visualize them as 2 stones sinking to the bottom of a dark, quiet lake. Down, resting in the soft silt at the bottom. When the eyes stop moving, the mind stops racing. Enjoy the darkness. It is not empty, it is restful. Move down to the cheeks and the jaw. The jaw is where we hold our frustration, where we hold the things we wanted to say but didn't. Unclench your teeth. Create a small space between your upper and lower teeth. Let the jaw drop. Feel gravity pulling the chin down towards the chest. It might feel strange to have your mouth hang open slightly. That is okay. It is the feeling of surrender. A slack jaw sends a powerful biological signal to your brain stem. We are not fighting. We are not eating. We are resting. And finally, the most important part of the face, the tongue. This is the secret switch. Most people sleep with their tongue pressed tight against the roof of their mouth. This creates tension in the throat and neck. Let it drop. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Let it float freely in the center of the mouth cavity. Soft, short, thick, like a jellyfish floating in the ocean. Feel the sensation spreading. Your forehead is smooth. Your eyes are sunk. Your jaw is heavy. Your tongue is floating. The face is dead weight. You are no longer smiling. You are no longer frowning. You are simply faceless. Observe how the rest of your body is already reacting. Because you turned off the lights in the control tower, the rest of the airport is beginning to shut down. Your shoulders are probably dropping right now. Your breathing is probably slowing down. This is the cascade effect, one domino knocking down the next. You have successfully initiated the shutdown. But we are not done. We have to move the wave of relaxation down. Down into the pillars of the body, into the shoulders, into the arms, into the hands that grasp the world. We are going to teach them to let go. Stay with this feeling of a heavy face for a moment. Memorize it. This is what safe feels like. Chapter 4. Step 2. Dropping the burdened shoulders and arms. Your face is now silent. The control tower is dark. Now, let the wave of relaxation flow down your neck and pool into your shoulders. The shoulders are special. In the language of the body, the shoulders are the carriers. They carry the weight of your job. They carry the weight of your family. They carry the expectations of the world. Notice where your shoulders are right now. Are they pulled up towards your ears? Are they hovering slightly above the mattress? This is the posture of defense. It is the turtle trying to pull its head into its shell. Take a deep breath and on the exhale drop them. Drop them lower than you think is possible. Imagine someone is gently pressing down on them, pushing them into the mattress. Feel the space between your ears and your shoulders growing wider, longer, releasing the tension in the back of the neck. You are putting the backpack down. Whatever you are carrying, it is too heavy for tonight. Leave it on the floor. The bed will hold you. You don't need to hold yourself. Now let that heavy sensation flow down into your arms. We are going to shut them down, one side at a time. Start with your dominant arm. If you are right-handed, focus on the right. Focus on the bicep, the muscle of strength, the muscle of action. Order it to release. Imagine the muscle fibers untying themselves. From a tight knot to a loose string. Move down to the forearm, and finally into the hand and fingers. The hands are the tools of the mind. They are always grabbing, typing, steering, holding. Open your fingers. Curl them naturally. Let go of the steering wheel. Let go of the phone. Let go of the day. Here is the test that Bud Winter taught his pilots. It is called the dead weight test. I want you to imagine that your arm has turned into lead. It is heavy, dense, sinking into the bed sheets. If someone were to come into the room right now and try to lift your wrist, your arm would be limp. It would flop back down onto the bed like a wet towel. You physically could not lift it if you tried. That is how relaxed you are, dead weight. Now, do the same with the other arm, the bicep softening, the forearm heavy, the fingers tingling. Do you feel that tingling? A soft warmth in the palms of your hands. That is a very good sign. That is the feeling of your blood vessels dilating. When you are stressed, your body pulls blood into the core to protect your organs. When you are safe, the blood flows back to the extremities. That warmth is the biological proof that you are entering the rest and digest mode. The brake pedal is pressed. Feel the heaviness of your upper body. You are becoming a statue, sinking into the sand, immovable, solid, safe. Your brain is receiving a powerful message right now. It is looking at your arms and saying, well, the weapons are down, the shields are down, we must not be in danger. And so, the brain begins to dim the lights in the conscious mind. The thoughts are getting slower, the worries are getting quieter, they are being drowned out by the sensation of weight. Enjoy this heaviness. We spend our whole lives fighting gravity, standing up, holding up. Tonight, gravity is your friend. Gravity is a blanket, let it pull you down, deeper. We have deactivated the face, we have deactivated the shoulders and arms. Half of the city is dark, but the engine of life, the lungs and the heart, is still running too fast. In the next step, we are going to slow down time itself. We are going to learn the breath of the ocean. Just float here for a moment, in the heavy, warm darkness, dead weight, at peace. Chapter 5. Step 3. The breath of the ocean. Chest and lungs. Your face is smooth, your arms are dead weight. Now bring your attention to the center of your being, your chest, your lungs, your heart. This is the engine room. Usually, we ignore our breathing, or worse, we force it. When we are stressed, we take short, shallow sips of air into the upper chest. This signals the brain that we are running a marathon. Tonight, we are going to change the signal. I want you to visualize your rib cage. It is not a rigid cage of bone. It is a flexible, expanding vessel. Imagine it is made of heavy, soft rubber. Take a breath in deeply but without effort. Feel your lungs filling up, not just the top, but the bottom. Imagine the air as a cool, blue liquid filling a glass. It hits the bottom of your stomach first, then rises to your ribs, then to your collarbones. And now exhale. This is the most important part. The exhale is the magic switch. When you inhale, your heart rate speeds up slightly. That is biology. But when you exhale, your heart rate slows down. The vagus nerve is stimulated. The brake pedal is pressed, so we are going to make the exhale longer than the inhale. We are going to ride the brake. Let the air fall out of you. Don't push it out. Just open the door and let it leave. Feel your chest collapsing, sinking, deflating. Imagine a heavy stone resting on your sternum. With every exhale, that stone sinks an inch deeper into your body, pushing you down into the mattress. Think of the ocean. The tide comes in, expand. The tide goes out, release. There is a pause between the waves. A moment of absolute stillness before the next wave comes. Find that pause in your breath. Breathe in, breathe out, and wait. Don't rush the next breath. Let your body decide when it needs air. Hover in that empty space. That empty space is where sleep lives. As you breathe, imagine you are breathing out the tension. Visualize the stress as a gray mist. Every time you exhale, you are expelling that mist from your lungs. Get it out. Clear the pipes. You are cleaning the engine. Notice your heart rate. Can you feel it slowing down? It is no longer hammering, it is gliding. It is matching the rhythm of your slow, heavy arms. The whole system is synchronizing. You are entering a state called coherence, where the brain, the heart, and the breath are dancing to the same slow song. You might feel a desire to sigh, a deep, involuntary sigh. Do it. That is your nervous system resetting itself. It is the sound of the safety valve opening. Your upper body is now completely offline. Face off, shoulders off, arms off, chest idle. But the lower body, the legs that carry you through the world, is still holding on to the day. We must shut down the landing gear. We must turn off the legs. Stay with the breath for a few more cycles. In like the tide, out like the tide, heavy. Fluid. Chapter 6, Step 4, Shutting down the landing gear, legs and feet. Your upper body is gone. It has dissolved into the mattress. But your lower body, the landing gear of your vessel, is still holding on. These are the muscles that carry you through life. The thighs, the calves, the feet. They are always ready to run, always ready to stand. Tonight, we tell them the journey is over. Park the vehicle. Shift your attention to your hips and thighs. These are the strongest muscles in your human frame. They are dense, they are powerful. And right now, they are holding on to micro tension. Release the right thigh first. Imagine the bone inside the leg, the femur, getting heavy, sinking through the muscle, sinking through the fat, sinking into the bed. Let the muscle detach from the bone, like meat falling off the bone in a slow-cooked stew. Soft, tender, loose. Now the left thigh. Release the tension of standing. You don't need to support your weight anymore. The bed is doing all the work. If your legs flop open slightly to the side, let them. That is the natural position of rest. Move down to the knees. Unlock them. There is no need to be ready to jump. Let the kneecaps float. Now the calves and ankles. Let the wave of relaxation wash down your shins, into the ankles. The ankles are the pivots. They are always adjusting, always balancing. Tell them to freeze. Tell them to lock into the off position. And finally, the feet. The feet are your connection to the earth. They are mapped directly to your brain. When your feet are cold or tense, your brain thinks you are walking on dangerous ground. I want you to imagine a warm, golden light shining on the soles of your feet, heating them up. Feel the toes uncurling, the pinky toe, the big toe, the arch of the foot collapsing gently, the heel digging into the mattress. The pilots called this cutting the wires. Imagine you have a wire running from your brain down to your toes, and you just pulled the plug. The signal is dead. You couldn't move your legs right now if you wanted to. They are logs. They are stone. They belong to the bed now. Scan your whole body one last time. Head heavy, face slack, shoulders dropped, arms dead weight, chest slow, legs silent. You are no longer a person lying on a bed. You are just a consciousness floating in a warm, heavy shell. The vessel is powered down. The lights in the city are all out, except for one room. One small room at the top of the tower where a light is still flickering. Your mind, the thoughts, the images, the random noise. The body is ready to sleep, but the mind is still trying to figure things out. In the next chapter, we are going to climb the stairs to that final room, and we are going to flip the last switch. The switch of silence. Stay here in this paralyzed bliss for a moment. Enjoy the feeling of having no body. You are just spaciousness. Chapter 7, Step 5, the 10 seconds clearing the mind. Your body is now a statue. You cannot move your arms. You cannot feel your legs. Your breath is the tide. You are physically asleep. But there is one light left on in the house. The attic. The conscious mind. This is the step where most people fail. They relax their body perfectly, but then they lie there and wait. And while they wait, the thoughts come creeping back. Did I lock the door? I have a meeting at 9 a.m. I shouldn't have eaten that pizza. Thoughts are not just mental images. They are physical sparks. Every time you have a thought, your larynx, your voice box moves microscopically, trying to say the words. These micro movements send wake-up signals back to the brain. To sleep, we must sever the connection. We must silence the inner narrator. Bud Winter realized that you cannot just empty your mind. The brain hates a vacuum. If you try to think of nothing, you will end up thinking about trying to think of nothing. So, instead of emptying the mind, we are going to jam the signal. We are going to use a blocker. This is the core of the military method. For the next 10 seconds, you have only one job. You are going to repeat a specific phrase in your mind, over and over again, like a broken record. The phrase is "don't think." Say it in your head right now. Don't think, don't think, don't think. Say it with authority. Imagine a heavy iron door slamming shut on every other thought. A thought about tomorrow tries to enter. Don't think. Slam the door. A memory tries to surface. Don't think. Slam the door. Why does this work? It works because your brain cannot hold two thoughts at the same time. By flooding your auditory loop with these two meaningless words, you are crowding out the worries. You are occupying the language center of your brain, so it cannot write a script for your anxiety. Let's practice it together for 10 seconds. I will count you down. With every repetition, imagine you are pushing a dark, heavy curtain across the stage of your mind, hiding the actors, hiding the set, leaving only the dark velvet curtain. Ready? Repeat after me internally. Don't think, don't think, don't think, don't think, don't think, don't think. Feel that split second of silence. That is the gap. That is the moment where the conscious mind gives up. It realizes no one is listening. The body is offline. The voice box is jammed. And so, it hands over the keys to the subconscious. If the don't think mantra feels too aggressive for you, Bud Winter offered alternatives. Visualizations. Simple, static images that require no logic to maintain. If you can hold a single, peaceful image in your mind for 10 seconds without interruption, sleep is virtually guaranteed. In the next chapter, we are going to step into one of those images. We are going to leave this room entirely. We are going to travel to a place of infinite calm, a canoe on a still lake, blue sky, clear water, and you. But for now, keep the curtain drawn. If a thought knocks, do not answer. Just repeat the code. Don't think, don't think, don't think. You are hovering on the edge of the cliff. Gravity is pulling at your heels. Let go. Chapter 8 Visualization Scenario 1 The Canoe on the Lake. If the don't think chant is not for you, there is another path. The path of the image. Your brain is a powerful cinema projector. It is always playing a movie. Usually, it plays a horror movie or a drama. Tonight, we are going to change the reel. We are going to project a scene of such perfect stillness that your brain will believe it is real. Bud Winter gave his pilots a very specific image. I want you to build it with me now. Close your eyes if they aren't already. Imagine you are leaving the dark room. You are stepping out into the light. But it is not a harsh light. It is the warm, golden light of a late afternoon sun. You are standing on the edge of a vast, crystal clear lake. The water is like a mirror. Not a single ripple disturbs the surface. It reflects the sky perfectly, blue on blue. The air smells of pine needles and fresh water, clean, crisp, oxygen-rich. Breathe it in. Inhale the scent of nature. Exhale the stale air of the city. Floating at the water's edge is a canoe. It is carved from rich, dark wood. It looks smooth and warm to the touch. Step into the canoe. Notice how it dips slightly under your weight, welcoming you. But you are not here to paddle. You are not here to cross the lake. You are here to drift. Lie down in the bottom of the canoe. There are no seats, just a soft layer of blankets waiting for you. Lie on your back. Feel the gentle rocking motion. Left and right, left and right. It is the same rhythm as your mother's arms when you were a baby. It is the rhythm of safety. Look up. This is the most important part of the visualization. You must look up at the sky. It is a deep, endless, azure blue. There are no clouds. There are no birds. There is no sun in your eyes. Just an infinite canopy of blue. Let your eyes drink in that color. Blue is the color of calm. It slows the pulse. It cools the blood. Stare into the blue. Do not look at the shore. Do not look for the horizon. If you look at the shore, your mind starts measuring distance. How far am I? Where am I going? But if you look at the sky, there is nothing to measure. There is no distance. There is no destination. You are just floating in a blue void. Feel the sun on your face, not burning, just warming, heating the skin of your cheeks, warming your eyelids. It feels like a warm hand resting on your forehead, blessing you, quieting you. Listen to the silence of the lake. It is a silence so deep it feels physical. The world of men is miles away. There are no phones here, no emails, no deadlines, just the water, the wood, and the sky. If a thought tries to enter your mind, what about tomorrow? Gently push it out of the canoe. Imagine that thought is a small leaf landing on your chest. Pick it up and drop it into the water. Watch it float away, drifting until it disappears. You remain in the canoe. Dry, warm, safe. Hold this image. You need to hold it for 10 seconds without interruption. That is the rule. If you can hold this perfect stillness for 10 seconds, the brain releases the final chemical cocktail for sleep. Let's try it together. I will be silent. You just float. Blue sky above, calm water below. You are drifting further from the shore now. The land is gone. You are a tiny speck in the center of the great blue eye of the world. Held by the surface tension, supported by the depths. You are weightless. You are timeless. You are just being. This image is your sanctuary. Whenever the world gets too loud, you can always come back here. The canoe is always waiting. The lake is always calm. The sky is always blue. But perhaps you are a person who struggles with pictures. Perhaps you cannot see the lake. That is okay. Bud Winter had a second scenario. One that relies not on sight but on sensation. The velvet hammock, the black void. We will go there next. For those who find peace in the dark, get ready to sink. But if you are happy in the canoe, stay here. Drift into the blue. Chapter 9. Visualization Scenario 2 The Velvet Hammock. For some of us, the light is too distracting. Even the imaginary sun can feel like pressure. If the canoe and the blue sky felt like too much work, let us try the second scenario. This one is for those who find comfort in the shadows. This one is for those who want to disappear. I want you to imagine that you are in a room of infinite size. But it is pitch black. There are no windows. There are no doors. There are no walls. Just endless, velvety darkness. It is the perfect temperature. Not hot, not cold, just neutral. Suspended in the center of this black void is a hammock. But it is not a net hammock that digs into your skin. It is made of the thickest, softest black velvet you can imagine. Walk over to it. Touch the fabric. Feel the pile of the velvet under your fingertips. Smooth, luxurious, deep. Climb into the hammock. Lie down on your back. Notice how the velvet instantly molds to the shape of your body. There are no pressure points. The fabric supports your head, your neck, your spine, your knees. It wraps around you like a cocoon. Because the hammock is black, and the room is black, you cannot see where your body ends and the hammock begins. You are merging with the void. Now initiate the swing. Give a tiny push with your mind. And feel the hammock begin to sway. Slowly. To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. This rocking motion is primal. It is hardwired into your brainstem. It is the motion of being carried. It is the motion of being safe. With every swing, you go a little deeper into the dark. Imagine that the hammock is swinging you down a long, spiral staircase. Lower and lower. Away from the noise of the surface world. In this darkness, your eyes have nothing to do. There is nothing to focus on. So the optic nerve finally stops firing. The visual cortex turns off. It is a relief, isn't it? To not have to see anything. If a thought tries to light up in the dark, did I send that email? Visualize it as a tiny spark, and then visualize the black velvet smothering it, covering it up, extinguishing the light. Return to the black. Return to the swing. This scenario relies on tactile visualization. Focus on the feeling of your back against the velvet. Focus on the feeling of gravity. In the canoe, you were floating on water. Here, you are hanging in space. You are suspended. You are weightless. Bud Winter knew that for some pilots, the fear of falling asleep was actually a fear of letting go. The hammock gives you permission to let go because you are being held. You cannot fall. You are cradled. Repeat the cycle in your mind. Darkness, velvet.
Darkness, velvet.
Sway. Hold this sensation for 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds of pure, uninterrupted darkness. 1, 2, 3. The darkness is thick. 4, 5, 6. The sway is hypnotic. 7, 8, 9. The body is gone. 10. If you have followed these steps, if you have relaxed, the face dropped, the shoulders slowed, the breath turned off the legs, and if you have held the image of the canoe or the hammock for 10 seconds, you are likely drifting on the edge of consciousness right now. The boundary between awake and asleep is dissolving. But what if you are still awake? What if you followed every step and you are still frustrated? Do not panic. This is the final trap, the trap of expectation. The military method is not a magic pill. It is a training program. The pilots didn't master it on the first night. It took them 6 weeks of relentless practice. In the final chapter, we are going to talk about the art of discipline. We are going to lay out the roadmap for the next 42 days. Because this is not just about sleeping tonight. It is about retraining your brain for the rest of your life. If you are asleep, good night. If you are still listening, come with me to the final briefing. Let us seal the deal. Chapter 10. Steel Discipline and the 6-week Roadmap. We have reached the end of the protocol. If you are asleep right now, congratulations. You have won the battle. But if you are still hearing my voice, if you are still lying there, awake and frustrated, listen closely. You have not failed. The military sleep method is not a magic pill. It is a skill. Do you remember the statistic I told you at the beginning? 96% success rate. What I didn't emphasize then was the timeline. It took those pilots 6 weeks of daily practice to reach that level. 42 nights. Tonight was your first night. Your brain is like a wild horse. For years you have let it run free in the paddock of insomnia. Tonight, for the first time, you put a saddle on it. Of course it bucked. Of course it resisted. That is natural. Conditioning takes time. Here is your roadmap for the next 6 weeks. Consider this your training schedule. Weeks 1 and 2 focus only on the body. Don't worry about your thoughts yet. Just master the physical shutdown. Learn to drop your shoulders on command. Learn to unhinge your jaw. Make the physical relaxation automatic. Weeks 3 and 4 focus on the breath. Train your heart rate to slow down. Master the long exhale. Master the pause between breaths. Weeks 5 and 6 focus on the mind. Practice the don't think mantra. Practice the canoe. Practice the hammock. By the end of week 6, these images will become triggers. Pavlovian bells. The moment you picture the canoe, your body will simply shut down. It will become a reflex. So, do not be angry at yourself if you are awake. Anger is fuel. Anger keeps you up. Instead, be proud. You showed up, you practiced, you planted the seed. Tomorrow night, the path will be a little clearer. The night after that, the path will be a little wider. Eventually, you won't even need this guide. You will close your eyes, take one deep breath, and you will be gone. The war with insomnia ends not with a final battle but with a surrender. Surrender to the process. Surrender to the timeline. Surrender to the night. The cockpit is dark. The engine is cold. The pilot is resting. You are safe to power down. We will see you here again tomorrow night. Same time, same protocol. Until then.